all pearly whites. Oh my goodness gracious.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm not
This
gonna be able to step
is
out with this guy.
the check-in. I am your host, Heat Detector. And before we get started, I want to give a disclaimer. If you dream of bunny rabbits, rainbows, cotton candy running through a field of butterflies and shit, this is probably not for you. There's no intention on this show to hurt or harm anybody, disrespect anybody. But this show is really about hard conversations. It's really about self-reflecting. It's really about being a better person for yourself, most importantly. And it's really about accountability and loving yourself. Mental health is a real issue. And so with that being said, we're not here to hurt or harm anybody. And if you don't like what you hear, because there will be probably some harsh language, more than likely, there will be things being said that are hard truths, pretty sure of it. And most definitely, probably some cursing. I got a foul mouth. I make no qualms about it. So with that being said, also, we are not therapists. We are not counselors. We're just men on a journey to be better for ourselves and be better for those around us. And how do we get there? We figure out what ails us, what's fucked up here, what's fucked up here, and we fix it. We tweak it. That's what this show is about. And helping those who need that tweaking. We can't give them the answer, but what we can do is help give the tools to help themselves to be better. Because it's important. It's important to be better. With that being said, this is the check-in. Tonight we're going to talk about some shit. Tonight we're going to talk about forgiveness, which is a big one. We're going to talk about grief. It's a real big one. And we're going to talk about how those things intertwine together. That's an even bigger one. And I want to start by saying I'm extremely happy. Hear me, I gotta let somebody in right now, but hear me, I'm extremely happy that I have my son here with me tonight to talk about these things because they are important. And we're gonna get into probably some muddy waters, more than likely. And we also have my good friend, my brother, Tony Lynch in the building. Tony, if you could be so kind, real quick, to tell the people who you are and what you do and why you're my motherfucking friend.
Well, he's more than my friend. This is my big homie. This is my brother, man. And we've been knowing each other for almost a year, you know. And who I am, I'm Tony Lynch. I am a men's grief coach. I am the founder of the nonprofit Millions of Us, also a podcast host, one of the founders of the Book Grief Network, two-time author, and chief editor of the Grief Talk magazine. As well as an animator now. So yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that's it for right now.
You're a man. You're a man. You're a man that has been on a journey, a man that understands a whole lot of things, man. Don't sell yourself short. But I called you. I called you today. Well, one of the things that I do is I never come up with the topics for the show on Sundays until day of, right? And today there was some things that were pretty heavy on my heart, man. And one of those things was forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? And how forgiveness works. And it just so happens I was talking to my son about it, about forgiveness. And then he said something that really struck me. We talked about his mother who has passed away. He's transitioned, right? And I saw something in him. I saw frustration. I saw a bit of anger. I saw remorse. I saw heartache. I saw a lot of things. And I thought, fuck, that shit resonates with me because I saw that I have that same shit. Because my mother passed away 2019. And I still, as much as I talk about this shit, I still have trouble grieving her. And my brother passed away in 96. I still have. Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that, y'all. Technical difficulties.
We've been having, I don't know, it's because of the heat or whatever, but we're gonna muscle through it. But I felt that it was really important, you know, to talk about grief and forgiveness and how they work hand in hand, because I really realized within that moment that I, damn, as much as I talk about me forgiving my mother for a lot of shit, I probably still haven't forgiven her, and she ain't even here. I have to forgive my brother because I kind of low key blame him for getting hit in a car. Like he was driving his own car, but because he's not here, it's like I blame him. Like why in the fuck weren't you paying attention or something? You know what I mean? And I blame him for my nephews for not being him.
I don't really know like completely like how to like deal with it for real on a or how I love her and the conversation the day before she passed, like I just don't know. I spent a lot of time thinking about it and I'm just like why I still did a lot of things for, you know, the people that I loved and cared about when it happened, and I didn't have time to really focus on myself. I even told my little brother that, man. Shout out to Victorious BIG. But I don't know. Like I like shit. I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I just need like just not having my mom and just they're not just being around and the phone calls and just a lot of stuff, man. It never like I know that like, you know, people get old, but my mom was still young. So there's a lot of things that
Take a take a deep breath, man. Take a deep breath. I want everybody. There's Tony. I want everybody in the chats to think about what forgiveness looks like to you. To think about what it means to forgive, and to think about what it means to grieve. Tony, I don't know if you've been listening, but what are your thoughts?
You know, the biggest thing, man, when it comes to forgiveness, we often want to forgive everybody else. It starts with you, right? You can pray for forgiveness for other people, but you have to forgive yourself. First and foremost, forgive yourself for the thoughts that you have, right? That's not benefiting you. That's only making you angry. forgive yourself for just for having too many expectations, right? Forgive yourself for blaming other people, including yourself, because it's real easy to do that. One thing as men that we do, and we're really bad about doing this, is that we are our own worst enemies. No one can beat us down like ourselves. No one. And what that does, it trickles over into what you're feeling. So instead of allowing yourself to get to a place, it's easier to hold on to it and hold a grudge to it because the questions are always, why did you have to leave? Why did you do this to me? Why did you leave me like this? All of these things are natural. They really are. But you have to learn how to forgive yourself, man, because you can't carry that stuff around with you. Trust me, I know you. I was that guy. I was that guy. I could not forgive myself for all the stuff that happened. A lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of wanting to blame everyone else, and it just turned into like straight violence. Like I didn't care. And the excuse was, I can always point up and say, "See, you left me out here to fend for myself. You know, why would you hurt me like this? I thought we were supposed to have this beautiful life together, and it just didn't happen that way." Man, that's a tough road, especially when you're dealing with grief too, right? Because although we may have these estranged relationships with our mother, truth of the matter is, our mom's our first love, and no one hurts like nothing hurts like that. Your first heartbreak don't even hurt like that because this is the woman who's known you your whole entire life. She's nurtured you. She may have taught you how to survive in the street, but she looked at you and went, "I have to do this for my baby, so he can survive in the streets." And you may not understand it because of that hard love. But yeah, man, it's a process. What are some of the things that you struggle with forgiveness?
You talking about me?
Yeah. Let me take these headphones off real quick because it's echoing. I don't know why. Hold on. How about now? Okay. All right. Yeah. Either one of you, man.
What was the question again?
What is the biggest thing that you struggle with forgiveness?
Hmm.
Like forgiving yourself, forgiving everyone else. Because I heard you mention your mother, your brother, a few other people, and I heard you mention your mom and how much that hurt. What is the biggest thing that you're struggling with that you're holding on to that you don't want to let go?
For me, I'm going to tell you the need that I feel for them to be here right now. The absolute desire that I feel for them to be here right now at this point in my life. Because I don't think, I mean, I've felt alone before in my life, but I don't think I've ever felt this alone now. You know, I told my son something today, man. Tony, I had a day today. I had a real day today. Like, again, I woke up with the idea of everybody can get the shit kicked out of them today. I had to get the fuck up out of here. I had to get the fuck up out of this house. I had to move around. And in the process, that ugly ass thought came back in my head. Why am I here? What the fuck am I here for? It would be better for me not to be here. And I had to fight that off now. Now I'm fighting two battles right now at that moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm battling the moment, the feeling that everybody can fucking get it today. And then I'm fighting, well, fuck it. Why even be here? Why even fight? What is the point? It doesn't make any sense to fight. I walk in the house, there's shit going on. I'm like, man, no one's listening. No one understands what the fuck is going on. Nobody knows that I just need them in the goddamn moment with me. And then this one, unbeknownst to him, all this is going on with me. He says, Dad, I need to talk to you. That set off uh, um, an avalanche for me. Because you know what it all boiled down to? Me feeling needed, me having purpose, me feeling like I have purpose. This young man gave me purpose today. Gave me another reason. Tomorrow, I'm going to fight even harder. He didn't even know he did it. Because he was going through some shit. He is going through some shit. And I have had conversations with my sons, and I have told them, man, the only thing I want for you guys is to be in the fucking moment with me. Because I need you in the moment with me every fucking day. That doesn't mean you have to be sitting by my side or anything. I need you to know that I am fucking here. I need you to know you can come to me and talk to me. I need to know that you're okay. That gives me fucking purpose. Because I have fucked up days. I don't want this. I can't. I told him, I said, like, my desire is to not leave this earth until I know you guys are okay. That as a man and as a father, that I've done my due diligence. Because I haven't in a long time, just places and points in my life, I haven't been accountable. I haven't making myself accountable. I haven't been responsible. And I got to get this right. And that doesn't mean I got to talk shit to them. That doesn't mean I got to yell and who can yell the loudest and you're going to listen to me and none of that shit. It means be in the moment, and I need to be in the moment with them and give them everything that I know, that I trust, that I understand. And I don't know that that makes any sense to anybody, but it fucking makes every bit of sense to me. And the whole time, we get about damn near finished and getting ready to do the show, and it really had dawned on me, man, this young man just gave me motherfucking purpose. The whole reason I was feeling the way that I was feeling, because I was stuck in my own shit again. I was stuck in my own mind, and I wasn't feeling like I had a purpose. And as much as I talk shit about, yeah, I'm working on this and I'm working on that, man, I'm a human being, and I struggle like a motherfucker every fucking day to be better and to be right and to be okay for me. For me. And to talk to my son and to help him be okay in that moment gave me purpose. Holy fuck. God damn, I looked at him and I lost my, I said, man, you gave me purpose. You didn't even know it. That's what I was looking for today, purpose. And that shit is also me forgiving me. That shit is accountability at its goddamn finest, right? Because to be accountable for your bad shit, you have to be accountable for your good shit. That means I gotta not beat myself up over it. I gotta forgive myself. I gotta be okay, and I gotta be able to take that in. I gotta be able to be good with being good, if that makes any goddamn sense. I gotta be good with being good. Ain't that some shit? I gotta
That's
process
part
that.
of it.
Yeah, I gotta process it. I gotta be okay with it, and I gotta love myself for it.
That's the key right there. Let me ask Steph a question. Steph, hearing your dad say this, man, what are some of the things that you're thinking about
That's Cam.
that's going on with you?
Cameron.
Oh, Cam. Sorry about that, Cam. Yeah,
Good.
Cam. When hearing your pop say that, man, what are you
He
thinking
said
about?
Steph.
Yeah.
That's funny. I mean, I just feel like, well, I don't even know like what to really say when he says that, because I mean, it makes me feel really good, you know, just hearing that from him. I'll say that, because you never really know what a person's going through. You know what I mean? So hearing that, like, because I didn't even know, you know what I'm saying, he even felt that way today. You know what I mean, about how he just didn't want to be here and stuff. Like, shit, yeah, that's tough. And
That's,
on it, like, I don't, what? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the biggest thing that I hear with both of y'all, man, is communication, right? You can't expect other people to know what's going on with you unless you open up your mouth. You want people to be in a moment with you, but you're tiptoeing around what's actually really going on. You have to know how to articulate these things, right? And as men, it's the hardest thing. I'm listening to Cam, and he's like, I really don't know what to say. You know what to say. It's just, you're having a hard time putting it together because it's like, do I say it? And if I do say it, how's it going to come across? So don't worry about all that crap, man. Look, the biggest thing is you have to know how to communicate. The worst thing that you can do is let another person assume they know what's going on with you. It's just like when I call you up here and I be like, bro, I just need to talk, right? And we're on the phone for hours talking. Or when someone else calls you. See, you're so used to being a strong one for everyone else that people sometimes forget that you may need somebody too. Right? Anytime somebody picks up the phone and calls you, you're right there. And when you and I talk, you're like, yeah, man, one of my buddies, you won't even mention the names. You're like, yeah, man, such as, buddy was struggling today, man, and all I could do was just be on the phone with him. Well, it's the same thing in return. With you and Cam both, right? You don't know what's really going on with Cam. As he just said, man, like, he didn't even know that was going on with you. He's going through his own things right now. So just as much as you need them to be in a moment with you, well, that goes in reverse too. And that goes for anybody that you're close to. Stop assuming we know what's going on. See, you driving off and then you're going, I don't even want to be here no more. Look, man, I'm a human being. I'm going to be honest with you. I struggle with days like that too. I do. I know that it's normal. I do. But it's scary because it is normal. That I can go from just going, man, this is cool and everything, but I'm alone. What the hell am I here for? Even though you got all of this shit in front of your face that you've been doing, making an impact in people's lives, and it takes that one thought to take it all away. Then you sit around, you beat yourself up. That's normal too. I'm not going to say that it's not. You got to know when you start doing that shit, man. Pick up the phone and call someone. Grab Cam, grab one of the kids. Look,
Oh, I did. Listen,
Michelle,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but like, I one of the greatest things that could have ever happened to me is me going through this shit a while back, because when I went through that shit and I had that meltdown, man, I was motherfuckers was hard pressed to convince me that I was not going to do the ultimate. Today I did. I was talking to somebody. I did reach out and I did sit around and talk to them for a while today. Did it put things in perspective for me? Sure. Did the thought go away? No. But because of my experience, because of even the check-in, because of a Tony Lynch, because of my son, because of all of these other people, I understood some tools to get me through that shit. Is even I told him when I walked in the house and there's shit going on, I had to breathe. I really did. I had to breathe again because I knew where my head was. I know where my head's at. No, I tell motherfuckers all the time, man, nobody can tell me about me better than me. I know me better than anybody. So I know what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to do. I know what I need to do. So I exercised that. Didn't make everything okay because I was fighting through that shit. My back was against the wall, but I was punching every demon that came that way. But I didn't know he was going to come to me and say, I need to talk to you. And of course, like I tell him all the time, I don't give a fuck what I'm doing. You're my son. If you need to talk to me, I'll stop whatever the fuck I'm doing. Let's talk. And when he came there and he stood and I think I was on the phone. Yeah, I was on the phone. And he said, you got a minute? I need to talk to you. He didn't say shit else. All right, talk to you later. My son needs to talk to me. Click. That was it. I didn't know the extent of what was going to happen. I knew that there were things bothering him because I heard the shit when I walked in. But also in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, fuck. I don't know if I have this in me, but my son needs me. Nothing else mattered at that point.
Yeah.
And what that did was, like I said, when we talked for maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, if not longer. And at the end of that shit, we didn't even know that it was going to end, except for the fact that I asked him what time it was. And it was time to do the check-in. There was no way I was missing the check-in today. So when that happened, it dawns on me, holy shit. This motherfucker done gave me purpose. That was my issue today. My issue was not feeling needed.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Deep question too.
Yeah.
Why? But why are you still holding on to all the pain that you carry?
One of my biggest fights. One of my biggest
That's
fights.
the reason why I'm asking. You and Cam both, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked this because I used to carry around pain because it gave me an excuse to keep people away from me.
Well, I don't want people away from me.
Myself. Well, I'm just using myself as an example.
Right.
Some people would do that to keep other people away because if someone was to do something that rubs you the wrong way, you can go from 0 to 100 just like that with the excuse of holding on to the pain. And most of the time, it's unwarranted because you're hurting these individuals for the stuff that you're carrying from past relationships or even people who have left.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The hardest thing for people, man, is being alone in the world. Or feeling like you're alone in the world. Right? Because you can get up every day and go out here and be around a million people and still feel as you're the only one there. That's a hard place to be. Feeling like that you're trapped in your own mind because abandonment issues, right? Always in survival mode, looking at everybody like, yeah, so if this person does something, I'm going to take off on them, right? You're already assuming the worst out of people. And I'm not saying that everybody does this. I'm just saying in general, most people will carry this stuff and use it as an excuse to look at everybody like, why aren't you not paying attention to me?
What'd I say?
Right?
You know what I mean?
Do you not see me over here? I'm over here. My world is falling apart, and y'all just act like everything is good. Well, in their world, it is. In their world, everything is good. Why? Because you was a part of that, taking yourself out the equation. You are a part of that. You mentioned that the biggest thing is not leaving this place without making sure that your family is good, right? And then you remove yourself from situations that you've made good.
Can I say something real quick? I
See what I'm
want
saying?
everybody, real quick, Tony. I want everybody in the chat because there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat right now, and I want to say to everybody, I see the chats. The control booth is on the other side, and I'm unable to get to them, and plus the conversation. But I want to tell everybody in the chat, I appreciate you listening and being involved in what's going on in this conversation. That's it, really. My bad.
No worries, man. Cam, what are your thoughts on that, man?
I
Just put
don't really.
everything in a perspective.
I mean,
Right?
I don't really don't like talking about what I got going on. You know, I'm gonna be honest. Like, um, just dealing with just past people in my life and stuff, and the only way I could deal with it is just just compressing it and just moving on. Um, I've I don't know, I just grew up with the fact it was like you're a man, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta get over it and fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Basically. Like who gives a fuck? You know? I was just telling my dad that today. Like who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like I remember when I was younger, I seek counseling. I was talking to this counselor every single day. You know what I'm saying, about things that was going on in my home and stuff, and um like trying to seek a way out because this was a fucked up situation. And he brought my godmom in there and literally like told her like every little thing that I told him to make it like manipulate the situation. You know what I'm saying? To where like literally this is my fault. So like me getting my ass whooped, gun getting in my face and like shit like that, that's my fault. Like I'm the reason for her doing that shit. I'm just a kid. You know what I'm saying? So dealing with that type of shit made me to be like, man, fuck even going to motherfuckers that are professional with help, because if that man's gonna do that to, me as a kid, you know what I'm saying? What who the fuck's gonna listen to me as a grown ass man? You know what I'm saying? And so like that's just the shit that I be dealing with. That's why I don't come to my dad about shit. And I just started doing that shit. I've lived out here. I'm from the West Coast, man. I've been in the West Coast most of my life. You know what I'm saying? I just moved out here to the Midwest with my pops. You know what I mean? I've never really came up to really be the person to come and talk about shit that's really going on with me for real. I was raised by women for real. My mom left because she was on drugs. So I had to go with my godmom, and then I was with my auntie, and then with my grandma, and I got, sisters and shit. You know what I mean? So I've always had to be like for them, you know what I'm saying? They're the shoulder to lean on and the person to come to and shit. So I feel like I didn't really have the time to really go and talk for real or to deal with those type of things. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm never expect, and that's the thing with me though. I don't expect a motherfucker to come in and ask me what the fuck is going on, because that ain't something that I'm accustomed to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never going to expect someone to be like, "Hey Cam, like, what you got going on? Like, how you feeling?" Like not like, like the casual shit. And I'm talking to everyone out there too, like not the casual shit, like actually being like, how the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? There's a difference in being like, hey man, how you doing? And being like, hey bro, like how are you really doing? That's not something I'm accustomed to. So I don't expect someone to come up to me and ask me that shit. You know? And I can relate to what you were saying because that I do the same fucking shit. I separate myself from everybody because I don't want to deal with the shit. Like I don't want to bring up like how it was when I was a kid or how shit was when my mom died. I don't know how to deal with it. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying?
You're doing it right now, man. Keep going.
It's just
You're
it's
doing it right
tough.
now, brother.
And shit
I
is
know.
just it's tough. And
Yeah.
um
Go ahead, man.
the one person that I trusted the most is no longer here.
Take
And
your time, man.
it literally fucks me up. I talk to my mom every day, at least like 20 times a day. And I'm not even over exaggerating that shit. Like, for real, mama's boy. Like,
Go
and
ahead,
she
man.
wasn't even around my whole life. And I, brother, I just forgave her for everything. You know what I'm saying? And I was doing right. I got getting right with God, got a good ass job, telling my mom, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come live with your son. I got you. You don't have to worry about niggas taking advantage over you. None of that shit. Cause I don't need your money. I don't need none of that. I just want you here. Like, I got kids, bro. I got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? Love them to death. And I wanted her to experience the things I didn't get to experience with her, with my kids. You know what I'm saying? Watching them graduate. You know what I'm saying? Being there, cuddling up, watching a movie. You know what I'm saying? Just watching them grow. That was important to me. That's why I had to forgive her. I wouldn't have been able allowed myself to for her to have that type of relationship. And as fucked up is I was supposed to come to Chicago. Um and I was like talking to my mom on the phone. This is like 2 days before she passed. And I'm like, yeah, mom, I'm trying to go to Chicago, man. I'm trying to find a babysitter for my kids. She's like, oh, really? She's like, I got you. Like, don't even worry about it. I was like, for real? She's like, yeah, I got you. I was like, oh, damn, cool. I like that's what's up. Like, I really do appreciate that because she knew like how important it was for me to have this relationship with my dad. I finally got to meet my dad in person after years. Like, met my dad when I was 26 years old in person. Talked to him for a long ass time, but met him in person when I was 26. It took a long time for me to come out here and to actually face that shit. I brought my whole family out here. I didn't just come here by myself, brought my kids here too. Said if I'm coming, they coming. You know what I'm saying? So she knew how important it was, like, to have that relationship with my dad. You know what I mean? So she offered. Next day, I get a phone call. It's a two-way call. My aunt's on the phone with my mom. I'm getting fucking screamed at because my mom is sick. And I had no idea my mom was sick. I live in a whole different fucking city. Like I don't know what's tapping in. And she doesn't tell me when I ask her, like, Mom, how you doing? Like, how's your health? Like, what's going on with you? And she doesn't tell me. I can't force her to fucking tell me what's going on with her. You know what I'm saying? So she's sick. She started this big ass ordeal. And bro, I didn't even get to tell my mom. I was so upset at the fact that this woman is just doing all this extra shit. Because like if she's sick, then why the fuck are you bringing more stress on her? Like it don't make no sense. You know what happened the next day? My mom dies.
Take a deep breath, son.
Let him chill out for a bit, man. Thank you for that, man. Big Heat, what's going on with you, brother? After hearing that,
There's so much more to that. It it angers me to hear him like this. It upsets the fuck out of me. But like I tell him all the time, I got you now. You know, and I don't know. It's hard for people to understand the dynamic and what's going on here. Um, in order for it to make sense, I have to just say my son was hidden from me his whole life. I spent his lifetime looking for him. And when I found him, we spent years on the phone, FaceTime, not FaceTime. They didn't have FaceTime then. I don't know. It's like 2009, I want to say. But we talked a lot on the phone, a lot. So when he tells you that he didn't actually face to face meet me, there was a lot that came with that because there were things that for him were never addressed. His thoughts and ideology of what a father was and who I was as a person, they couldn't have been more different. The things that they told him about me that weren't close to even being true, and what he held on to for that, and then him even showing up was big, super big. Because for me, like I told him today, like for me, the very first time you came, it was the greatest thing ever. Because it wasn't that I needed to push and mush anything into anybody's face, but finally, the truth gets to be heard. Finally, some I get some closure. You know what I'm saying? And I had told his mom even before she passed, man, I forgive you. I found him. So nothing else matters. I'm not gonna hold on to any of that shit. Whatever you guys did, whatever you guys said, I don't give a fuck because I got him now. He can call me now. He knows where I am now. He knows who I am now. That's all I give a fuck about. And that's why, like, when I talk to my sons and I tell them when I need them to be in the moment with me, man, it's so fucking important, man. And I told them today, I know I'm not going to be here forever. So it is my job to make sure you're okay as a young man, you know? I grew up without my father. I don't even know who he is. And I don't even want to know because I don't have the space for that kind of disappointment. If he decide he don't want to know me or whatever, I don't have the space. I got to deal with what I got to deal with right here and right now. I'm not mad at anybody about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad, man. I don't even You know, that's something that they have to deal with now, because now they have to deal with him. But like I told him, I don't want you being angry with these people. They have to live with that, not you. I'm here. I pinch myself every day when I see him. Every day. And I'm so scared that it's going to be, somebody's going to wake me up and tell me this is the cruelest joke ever. That for his lifetime, his life, that he is finally in my fucking face. That's all I've ever wanted and all I've ever desired. And I tell them all the time, I got you now. They ain't getting you back. And when you do go back, we're gonna make sure your brain is rewired and fixed the way it should be, the way it's supposed to be, the young man that you're supposed to be. Because when you become that young man that you're supposed to be, that light that shines inside of you, nothing else will matter. You'll forgive those people. And the best thing about it is, not the best thing, that's probably kind of shitty, but they all have to live with that when they see what they stifled. They'll have to understand. They'll have to fucking come to terms with when they see what they had done. And that's not for him to fix. That's not for me to fix. That's for them to fucking fix. That's for them to deal with. That's for them to have understanding for. But before we even get to that goddamn point, gotta forgive yourself, son.
There you go. That is the biggest part. You said something interesting, and I want to just add something to that, if I may. Stop waiting for those people to see what's already inside of you. It's kind of hard to make people hold people accountable for things that they don't even think that they're doing wrong. Right? You know what I'm saying? This is like a thief. If you got somebody who's a thief, you keep inviting them to your house, and then you expect them not to steal anything. And then you get mad when he does. Right? So if you're on the outside and you're watching all of these people do these things, you've already endured a lot of pain through these individuals. And they just keep going through life. In their mind, they ain't doing nothing wrong to you. So when we carry that anger, when we carry that frustration, and it turns into that stinking thinking, oh man, everybody can get it. Or, you know what I'm saying, or I don't want to be here. Oh man. Don't get these people up there, man. Because they don't care. They don't care because they don't think they did anything wrong. We all have more stories, man. We have more stories from people who have done us dirty. Right? When you can get to a place and you can just say fuck those individuals, and they become nothing but a brief memory in your mind, everything else makes sense. Because Cam, you said it earlier, but I want to actually give you something else to go on top of that too. It's not that people don't care about what's going on with you. You keep asking the wrong people to care about what's going on with you. So yeah, it would be a surprise if, say for instance, you know what I'm saying, myself, Q, a lot of people that know you call you up and like, Cam, what's going on with you? You would be taken back by that because, again, what your dad down showing you is genuinely give a fuck. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's when you got fucks to give. He's like, oh man, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got some fucks to give today. You know, and they all for you. It's real hard when you spend your life surviving people. And I say that with sincerity. I've done it my whole entire life, just surviving people. And I'm going to share something. I used to walk around afraid that people was going to hurt. Because that's what people always try to do. And so I got to a point to where, and he heard me say this before, I'm going to say it again. I got to a point to where if I thought that you was going to try to hurt me, I was going to get you first. I was going to get you first. You know, I'm not going to. I'm not even going to second guess the thought that's in my mind right now, because for one, life has taught me that I can't trust anyone. That, you know what I'm saying? If I let people in, the only thing they're going to try to do is get me. So why the fuck would I do that? So I learned to keep my mouth shut, keep my head down, just get through life the best way I could. And then I woke up one day, and I'd already faced all my fears. Everybody I knew was gone. Everybody that I love, gone. I blamed myself for a very long time, man. Very, very long time, saying maybe if I should have, maybe if I would have stayed in Colorado for so long, maybe it wouldn't be this way. Maybe if I would have told my dad what was going on with me, maybe things would have been different. Maybe all of these maybes, man, maybes. And I tell you, there was a lot of people that paid for that. Those maybes, like, if I can't have mine, you can't have yours. And I had that attitude, you know, like fuck. You know what I'm saying? You sit up here and like, no, man, fuck you. You know? And then I would go home. And then in the midst of the dark, I was curled up in the ball, crying in the corner. And no one even knew. You know how many times I wanted to walk out here and just drive my car into a wall, just say fuck it. You know, just because you get tired, right? And I'm not going to say that it's going to get easier or worse. That totally depends on you. But you have, look, man, you have to take some steps. You have to. One thing, I'm over here watching the chat right now. And I would tell you right now, between everybody that I'm saying right now, bro, you got a lot of people that give a fuck about you. A lot of people that give a fuck about you. And you know what I'm saying? They want to pick up the phone that take you back, like, hey, Cam, hey, what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? How you really doing? And you will actually know it. I wonder, that affect a person up too. Really, man. Especially when you're grieving. Especially when you're grieving people that you thought was going to be there for
a long time,
for the rest of your life, for a long time. Then when it's taken away from you, it's the hardest thing that you will ever have to come to terms with.
Yeah. Grief is like that. If you don't like really deal with it, it's that nagging it's that thorn in your side that it just won't go away. And there's no time limit on your grieving. It's a process. Is what I'm learning. It is a fucking process. And there's a lot of steps in between that fucking process to get to where you're better and you're feeling better about it, or you're feeling better, whatever your thoughts or beliefs are, if they're in a better place or whatever in the hell. It's a process. But I think the key to it is being able to understand it's a process and then doing the necessary work to grieve properly.
I want to add to that. Yes, you're absolutely right on all of that right there. But the biggest component is when you're grieving is trusting yourself. See, it's easy to trust other people because you can mimic what other people do, right? But it has nothing to do with you when you're grieving. This grief is yours. Trusting yourself, truly trusting yourself to do what you need to do when you're grieving. Now, that's the hardest part because it's going to take you changing the way you see life, and it's going to get fucked up because at some point you look at life and go, "What's the point? You're just going to leave me anyway." Then there's a point in your life, just like you guys have children. You sit back and go, "I need to be here for them. I need to be a good person, good human being for them, so they know who I am." Right? You know what I'm saying? So when they get older, they know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Right?
I said those same. I
Now,
swear to you, I said the same shit to him today. That's so fucking key. That's so fucking key.
well, you've heard me say something before, and I'm going to say it again because I don't think you heard me the first time. And maybe somebody else out there, maybe don't let this go over your head. The biggest fear that most people have is that people will see you to see you the way that you see yourself when you look in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror and really, truly see yourself for who you are with everything that you're carrying right now. And then tell yourself that you love yourself. See how hard that is. You're quick to say you love everybody else. Look yourself in the mirror and truly see you with all the pain that you carry, the fear, all that anger, and truly say that you love yourself in that mirror. You want to be able to do it?
It's
Because like I found out it was a lie. I hated myself. I couldn't stand my fucking self. Because for one, I felt like I was a failure. Right? I looked back on my life and I looked at all the things that I had to do in the name of survival. Like in the name of gang. In the name of, you know what I'm saying, just trying to be the baddest motherfucker out there on the street. Man, I couldn't stand myself for all the things that I had to look back on and go, damn, I really did that. You know what I'm saying? And then when I realized I was truly alone, no parents, you know, one sibling left, no son, no kids, nothing. Life changed on me again because I got into that self-hating mode. Like, what's the purpose? I only have one job, that was to protect my family. I couldn't even fucking do that because I was too busy out here trying to figure out life. And I didn't figure it out. Life figured me out and had to get my ass. When it comes down to grief, there's something that most people look past. Grief is selfish. And what I mean by that, grief doesn't care where you are, who you with, or what you're doing. When grief shows up, it's like, hey, I need you to pay attention to me. Right? And it's not a bad thing. Because a lot of times when your grief shows up, it's putting pieces of those things that need to be healed in forgiveness and be forgiven in you. And until you're ready to face that side of it, it's going to be a hard road. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be a fucking hard ass road. And it's going to be one that you're going to carry all this stuff with you, which you don't understand. That stuff trickles over. It trickles over half the time because things become a lot more irritable. You may think you got it under control, but when you start becoming a lot more irritable, when you start snapping at people for no damn reason, catch yourself. Go in that moment, go look yourself in the mirror and look at what everybody else sees. It's a hard truth, man. It's a fucking hard truth. But surrounding yourself with people that's willing to be right there with you in blood. Not trying to control you or push you in a certain direction, but just genuinely there with you. Right? That genuinely give a fuck about you, man. Man, look. It wasn't until recently that I started finding good people. And I've been doing this for 6 years. Not everybody I met was good people. And I waited for a long time to find good people. I've genuinely stayed in the shadows, hoping, you know what I'm saying? Hoping one or two things was going to happen. One, somebody would come and find me. Or two, I just disappeared. And no one even knew I was here. And the sad part about it is that I was more okay with disappearing and no one knowing that I was here than anything else. Because, man, of everything that I was carrying. Because when you've been out And I'm pretty sure you both can relate to this, and a lot of people that's in the chats right now can probably relate to this. When you spend your whole life fighting people, sometimes you get afraid of the ghost coming back and fighting you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a fight that you don't win. So a lot of times we go out into the world, we pretend that everything is okay because honestly, we don't want nobody asking us if we are.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a minute. We really don't want nobody asking us who we are. Because for one, are you being genuine? Because you're about to get an earful.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? You're about to get a fucking earful. But you carry, when you carry all of those things around with you, man, it makes it real hard to take the next step. Although you are moving around in life, are you genuinely taking the next step in your own life to get closer to where you need to be? And that means sacrificing a lot of shit, a lot of changing the way that you look at things, a lot of going back in and addressing those issues, like really addressing. But honestly, the biggest portion is the saying, man, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up. I'm hurt. And I'm tired of being this way. Right? That's where everything comes in, because then you begin to build your ABCs from there. Right? And you can't skip steps. You won't be able to. Because as soon as you skip the steps, that motherfucker comes back and punch you right in the damn heart, man. And have you sit up there holding your chest going, I can't breathe. And now you're emotional and not even understanding why. So now, as a man, now you got to fight that, right? Because you don't want people to think that you're weak. Everything that I'm saying right now is all stigmas that society has put upon us as men. And we got 3 men up here right now, you know what I'm saying, in places where side of you want to break, just fall apart. And the other side is going, I can't let people see this because you're afraid of being judged. I'm not gonna say you're afraid of being judged. I'm gonna say I was afraid of being judged when I had to tell my truth. Right? Like, man, it's a difficult road, but it's worth it.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
Can you, if you don't mind, can you tell him or tell everybody your grief journey? Because I think that's key.
Another one of those little man.
I think that's key, and for people to understand where you're at, how you got here.
Okay. I give everybody
if you're comfortable with that.
Oh yeah, man. Like I've come to terms with everything that has happened in my life, man. That's why I do what I do. So a brief rundown, man. So I'm a survivor of childhood molestation. I was molested twice by my neighbor's son when I was 6 years old. That changed me. And when I did go to try to tell people, no one believed me. So I figured it out. I was like, well, no one's going to believe me. I know he's going to try to do it again. So this time, I'm going to make sure he don't do it anymore. So at the age of 6 years old, I had to figure out how to survive. And it fucked me up. Because after that, I realized that no one was going to come and save me. No one gave a fuck about what happens to me. And 3, there was people in the world capable of doing really bad things and other people. So now I have to have the mentality of I have to be worse than you. Not in terms of going out there and hurting kids or hurting women or anything, but I have to be able to hurt you before you hurt me. And by me being a little dude, that means that I'm going to have to fight you extra hard. Either that, or I'm going to have to hit you with something upside your head, or I'm going to have to do something even worse than that. And this is the world that I grew up in. Now, on the other side, I have a little sister. I have my mom and my dad. I'm a straight A student in school. I'm still my grandmother's grandson. I still mow the lawns. I still go around and take out people's trash on weekends because that's what we was taught. I still have to deal with my little bratty ass sister. You know what I'm saying? Although I love her to death, I still have to deal with her. Right? So I chose I chose to keep them separate. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That was one of the first movies I ever saw that helped me model what I was going to do. On this side over here, I could be Dr. Jekyll, straight A student, my mom's son. On this side over here, I'm about to be a beast. I'm about to be a beast. So at the age of 9, I started looking at life and looking at the drug dealers, and I wanted to deal drugs. And they kept me off the streets for a little bit, and I was just persistent. And eventually I got in, and I got taught the ropes. And I started selling drugs at the age of 11 years old, because they just wasn't, they were like, man, get your ass on over from here. At the age of 11, one of the guys took me under their wings, and I just kind of took off with it. You know, made a lot of money, made a lot of enemies. And, you know, only thing it did pushed me further away from my family, because at the age of 15, I ended up leaving home. And I've been on my own since then. 15, I went to D.C. for 2 years. 17, I had my first daughter. I had to walk away from my first daughter at the age of when she was 6 months old, because some rival gang members out here in Colorado, I didn't even think that they were out here, decided that one guy was going to try to do something bad to him. So I chose to do something bad to him, and I beat him within an inch of his life in front of my family. That changed everything. So now I know she'll never trust me. The rumors that she heard about me is true. You know. And as a man and as a father, what do you do with some shit like that?
Right.
I can take this, and I can take the chance of trying to be this girl's father and bring her into a life that's going to be fucked up. I knew it was going to be fucked up. Or I make a hard decision. And I say, in order to, I love my family this much to where I would rather you take her and get away from me, just to keep her safe and to keep you safe. Just get away from me. I was right. One of the hardest decisions I ever made, but it was necessary, because I was correct. And for the next 20-some years, it was exactly that. Back in the gangs, I'm a former Crip. You know, and I was true to from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't tell me nothing about it. I was going to do it. Enemies, you name it, I did it all. I ended up going to prison, 1994, a 5-year bid. Got out in 1999, early 2000. I was shot 22 times from some rivals. Yeah, from people that I got when I went in. So that should tell you, these people still had a grudge. You dig what I'm saying? And they were like, as soon as we catch him, we kill him. I wasn't even mad that he tried to kill me. I was like, dude, don't do me no favors. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let the nightmare stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't do me no favors. You know, I already don't sleep. So, you know, what you think is going to do? This don't bother me. This is what we do. We live and we die by this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only one way out. This is the way life had to be. I can accept that. I watched all of my friends die. 400 plus friends. Watched them all die. Held their hands. Carried their bodies. Sat with them as they took their last breath. Watched them take their own fucking lives. Watched them overdose. Man, I done seen some fucked up shit in this world. I've lost all of my grandparents. I've lost cousins. I've lost aunts, uncles. A couple of really good friends. I've lost both my parents, my younger brother, and my son.
That's where we. See, that's where I wanted you to be at right there, and to get to what that grief felt like. I don't mean to approach or anything. You know what I'm saying?
You're good.
But what that did and where you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it fucked me up. So when I talk about being alone in the world, I do actually come from a place where I live it. I just don't speak it. I am alone in the world, right? I'm the last of my bloodline. I'm the oldest and the last of my bloodline. So when I'm gone, there's no one else. And that's a hard place to be because I can't pick up the phone and call my mom and be like, Mom, what am I supposed to do? Dad, I can use some advice. I don't get to watch my younger brother grow up. I don't get to watch my son graduate high school or have his first heartbreak, or I don't get to teach him how to drive. I got 8 years with him. He would have been 17, 18 this year. He'd have been out of high school and hopefully going into somebody's college or the military or something like that. I get it though. And as crazy as it is, I'm thankful that I was able to even have him in my life, right? My mom and my dad taught me what I needed to do in order to survive in the world. I got the chance to see my younger brother become the young man that he was. And I got the chance to actually be a father of something I've never been. And when you can say thank you for that, that's when you reach the level of in your healing where you now understand the way life is. Does it make it easy? No, it don't, man. There's times where I still struggle. But you know what I did? I tried to take my life. I had lost everything for the probably 18th, 19th time in my life. And I'm homeless on the streets. And I decided that I didn't want to do this shit anymore, man. That life, you could just take this life and shove it. I don't want to fight anymore. I'm done surviving. I'm done trying to fucking figure shit the fuck out. I'm tired of people telling me to man the fuck up. Because next time, like, I was at a point, if you would have told me to man the fuck up, I probably would have broke the jaw.
Mm-hmm.
Or you probably whip my ass. I mean, I'm old enough that you can whip my ass now. I probably need one because sometimes I get kind of rowdy, okay? So I probably need a good ass one. But man, it's a different beast. Because when I found out this right here, that this is what I wanted to do, be in a grief field, it changed everything. Because now I get to provide space with over 32,000 men on a yearly basis for us to be able to come together, talk, be supported by one another, but also, build a brotherhood, right? And even throughout, I'm gonna tell you something. Even with all of that I do, I still have to look at this and go, it's not about me. So it still leaves me in a place to where I'm still by myself. I'm only here because of my gift. That's it. Without my gift, I wouldn't have nothing or anyone. I wouldn't know he. I wouldn't know half the people that I know. But that's also a blessing. So you can't have one without the other. I realize that I'm blessed with this gift. But this is the way life is. And I appreciate it because for me, life is truth. It's not fair or unfair. It's not right or wrong. Life says this is what's going to happen. You get to make the choice of what you want to do, what you want to do with it. Doesn't mean that I don't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Every time somebody new comes into my life, I'm just like, what is your intentions? You know, is this going to be another one of those where you're going to try to do something bad to me? But I've gotten to a point now to where I don't care. It doesn't bother me if you try to do bad things to me. I remember because it's not a reflection on me; it's a reflection on you.
Right. Say that again. Somebody tries to do something bad
Right?
to
You
you,
know what I'm
it
saying?
is a reflection on them, not on you.
Yeah. It doesn't look. As long as I can get up every day and I treat people good, right? Meaning I don't judge nobody. I'll give you shirt off my back. I'll be there with you if you ever need me. You know, all of those things that come along with it. And as long as I can leave you in a better place than what I found you, I think I've done my job and continue to do my job. As long as I'm able to utilize my gift to the benefit of and servitude of other people, I'm okay with that because that's what makes me happy. All the rest of it doesn't really matter. When people come and bash me and talk bad and try to do things, that's like man, that stuff don't even bother me no more because you can't stop what I'm doing, right? You're not gonna stop what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what your intentions are, I know how to move out of your way and let you keep going. And when you get out of my path, I'm just gonna step over it and I'm just gonna keep it fucking moving.
Ain't
Right?
that truth?
Because it's not a reflection. Look, man, people hate on people that are doing better than them. That's the only thing. People hate on other people that are doing better than them. So that's not on you. That's on them. You know what I'm saying? But I sidestepped a little bit, so I'm gonna go back a little bit. When it comes down to this grief thing, man, I could have chose not to step in this path, and I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. To be honest with you, one thing that grief did take away from me was the fear of dying. I have no fear of dying anymore. It's like I can accept it. If I can accept the losses that I've endured, I understand that I'm up in age now. Tomorrow's not promised. I've had to overcome some stuff in order to get to where I am. Fighting kidney failure, not knowing if I was going to make it. Hell, when I met he was. I told him about it. I was like, dude, this is what's going on. Just so you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you want to be my friend or not. I don't know because I'm knocking on death's door, and I'm still doing what I was doing while I was battling that, and no one even knew. That's the reason why I love doing what I do. Because if I can do it, I know the next person can. I'm just a guy out here just trying to do something good in the world. And I tell people all the time, you got an advantage over me. You got people that genuinely care about you. You got a roof over top of your head. You got a family. Imagine doing it without any of that.
Yeah. I think about that shit all the time. Like, that's like one of the main things I'll be thinking about is being by myself. Like, just like not having no one. Like, the other day I called my grandma, and I looked at her and I started crying because I know that it's not going to happen soon, but I know it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I know that, like, there's going to be a day that I'm going to have to say goodbye to my grandma. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, shit, I mean, my great grandpa just passed away, so she's dealt with some deaths as well. My mom, and then her dad, and then her niece. You know what I'm saying? And then I see her now, and and my grandma, she didn't really look old. You know what I mean? She didn't look like an old lady, but like now that I'm out here and I FaceTime her now. She looks like an old lady now. You know what I mean? And for me, it just like put things in perspective. Like, you know, like my grandma's, she ain't got that much time here. You know what I'm saying? God can call her any day of the week. You know what I mean? Um, I just think about that shit, like being alone. And I know an older guy too that literally watched every single one of his family members pass away, every single one of his friends, none of his he doesn't have any kids, you know what I'm saying, was married, had to bury his wife, and it's just him. I'm thinking about that shit. And that's a scary fucking thought, just to be alone and not, you know, that's why, you know, I feel like in a way that's why God told me to come out here. You know what I mean? I truly, like, I know he told me to come out because before I came out, I was drunk as shit. Like, talking like I was drinking every day, you know what I'm saying? Um, playing with drugs, you know what I mean? Playing with my nose and just doing dumbass shit. And then like, and my dad kept telling me like, son, like, you need to make this hard choice and you get the fuck out of there. And I was like, give me a month. I'll think about it. Then one day, I was like 10 o'clock in the morning. I had just woken up. You know what I'm saying? There was some fucking crazy shit going on in the place I was living at. You know, a lot of yelling, a lot of bullshit. And I was very overwhelmed. And I went outside and then I had come back inside and then something told me, hey, call your dad. It's time for you to go. Like, you gotta get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And worst drive of my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. You want to talk about having to sit there and really deal with some shit? I was
Hey, you
on.
know what? I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have to. I had been begging him to come. Buy his ticket, buy his plane ticket, get on the first thing smoking. He refused it. So this time around when he called, yeah, you're coming. I don't give a fuck how you get here. Bicycle, train, bus, but I ain't buying you a ticket. I'll buy you a ticket on a bus. I felt like he needed that space.
And I did. Let me tell you what
He was mad
else.
as fuck.
I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. Okay. I had no weed. None. None whatsoever. There wasn't a place I could stop. And I knew, like, as it kept gradually going on, I knew God was saying, yeah, boy, you're going to sit here, you're going to be sober. You're going to think about everything that's going on in your life right now in this instant and why the fuck I got you on this fucking bus. Like, you're really going to think about this shit. I was on the bus for 64 hours on a bus. Couldn't bring no alcohol. I freaking every stop we went, I was like, hey, can I? No, are you on the Greyhound? Oh yeah, no. You don't get alcohol. Because you can't bring alcohol on the Greyhound. So shit, on the bus, sober as fuck, dealing with the shit, thinking about the shit. And then on top of that, like thinking about my kids. So what you said earlier, what my dad said earlier, you know what I'm saying, having a purpose of like, yo, I gotta be here to teach my kids some shit. You know what I'm saying? To ensure that they have a successful life, more successful than me. You know what I mean? And so, hey, this is where I'm at. You know what I mean? This is where I'm at. And you know, I love my mom. Like, I think about my mom all the time. I love my mom to death. Like I said, she was my best friend. And I can really say that. Like, the only person that I felt at that time that really understood me for real. But I know why I'm here though. You know what I mean? I understand why I'm here now. It took a while for me to really grasp on to the fact that I actually needed to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm from the West Coast. All I know is California. I don't know nothing else more than that. So, you know, I tell my brother, like, because, we all have our issues and our problems, and especially like talking to our pops, man. Like, I told him today, like, I have my days where I be hella disrespectful, but this is my dad. You know what I mean? And to me, this is all I got, you know? This is all I got. And I wanna cherish every moment that I have. You know what I'm saying? And not take it for granted. Cause I felt like with my mom, I took it for granted a little bit. And that's a reality that I'll be dealing with.
Yeah.
That goes back to
You
forgiveness.
know? And that's just the hard thing for me to do is grasping on that fact. Cause she was my crutch,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
Like just, hey, no matter what, like, hey, whatever jam I was in, I can always count on my mama. Always. She get me out that fucking jam. She'll tell me what's up. You motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like, check me for real, but she'll get me out that jam and still love me unconditionally. So that's just that for me is like the hardest thing for me to grasp on. Like, just not having my crutch and then having to understand that I have someone else on this earth that I can depend on. You know what I mean? It's just tough. It's a tough
Yeah.
it's a tough thing. So I ain't gonna lie.
Well, you know what
I can
time it
dig
is,
it.
man.
Man, I'm already knowing, man. Look, this is going deep, man. This shoot, man. What you doing?
But I mean, to me, I think that's something to sit in. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
really do. I really feel like, man, there's a lot that was said tonight. It's a lot to process. And it's something I feel like, and I'm not going to try to think for him. I'm thinking for myself too right now. It's a lot to process. I got to sit in that for a minute. I do. I
Yeah.
hope he does.
Tony, you mind if my dad gives me your number?
Man, of course, man. Say less. Get my number from him, man. You can call
I
me
was going to do that
anytime that you
anyways.
want.
I was going to do that anyways. After this, I was going to do that anyways.
I appreciate that.
But I think it's important that we sit in this moment. You know what I'm saying? Because I told him today, you know, to give himself some grace and really, 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 really reflect on things. Don't just sit in the room and fester. Reflect. What happened today? Why did I feel like, get to the core of what that feeling really was? Because it probably wasn't something immediate. Because I know I got to sit back on this today, process this whole day, and what triggered that shit for me today? What led me down this path today? Figure that out. Confront it. That's a demon. That's another ghost. It's a demon. It's, you know, I got to process that. I got to sit in that. I got to
Can I
sit
change that
in.
a little bit?
Huh?
Can I change that a little bit?
Sure.
I think when it comes down to the wording, sitting in it is a little bit different from sitting with it,
Right. But
right?
okay, there it
Because
is. You know what I mean?
when you sit,
Sometimes
yeah, no, I
you know what I
understood what
mean?
you were saying. That's what I said. I want to just change the
Change the
wording a
wording.
little
Remember
bit
I was
because
talking
when you
about we
sit,
got to be mindful of what we say because
yeah, be
you know what I
mindful of
told
what you
him?
say.
Peep this out. What I told him today is that as men, we think logically, right? And so
Right.
99.9% of the time, I am very, very aware of what the fuck I say. But even in that instant right now, because your logical mind says, don't sit in it, sit with it. That's what I was meaning to say. But in order for that to have the right understanding, that's the right verbiage for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
And the
important.
reason being, I want to clarify too. I want to
Mhm.
clarify why I say this because there's a difference.
Right.
We got an echo going on. It's not me.
Girl, stop calling me.
When you're sitting in it, you allow those things you allow those things to come in and pick you apart,
Right.
right?
Well, my point,
Because now
Tony,
you're open,
my point is,
to it, right? You're open to it pulling you apart. When you're sitting with it, you line it up so you can take it on one by one.
Dad,
Right? You can let one in and close the door, address this right here, and once you're done with it, when you're totally done with it, you can let it exit on out the door. Take a deep breath, sit back, have some grace for yourself, cry if you need to, because it's going to get emotional. And this is just the beginning step. Then you open up the door. As you begin to let all of this stuff in one by one, you'll find that it's revealing who you truly are. And it's a trade-off, right? It's a trade-off. If you give me this, I will give you this. And that's the only thing it's asking you to do. It's not there to try to hurt you or beat you down. Your grief is there to remind you that you was once loved. That at one point you was capable of great love. And it's hard to let that go. And it's not even letting it go. It's really hard to imagine life without it. And so this is where all the other stuff comes in. Because it's a conflict of interest. And when you don't know how to fight something that you can't see, well, you beat yourself up more than anything else. Now it's not even a war between the stuff that you've gone through. It's a battle between you and the other version of yourself. And once you're ready to let those things, you know what I'm saying, fall to the wayside and just kind of grow its own flowers with you, right? Because it's not going anywhere. So you can go ahead and get that on out of your head. It's not going to go anywhere. It's a part of who you are. But you get to choose the part of you that it becomes. You can find purpose in it, man. But again, it takes time.
thank you for saying that. Good. No,
Yeah,
because
what's
that's exactly what I meant. My wordage was wrong as shit. But that's exactly what the fuck I meant. I meant like that's what I was telling him earlier today when taking inventory. You know what I'm saying? Figuring out the root of things. Figure out how you can be better at things. But you've got to be able to give yourself grace in order to do that. And I did say, you know, when sitting in it or sitting beside it, sitting next to it, however you perceive it, not you, Tony, but you know, anybody that's listening. It's important not to let it fester. It's important to be present. It's important to be present with yourself. So when I say sit in it, like I told him earlier today, like really don't just sit there and like when I say give yourself grace and go, you know, give yourself some time and some space. That doesn't mean go in there and be like, oh fuck, man, shit, man, I don't know what to do. No, take inventory. Take inventory of self. Reflect on today. Reflect on that. Reflect on everything that has happened. God damn it. Use that as fuel for tomorrow.
Build your timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, build your timeline though. Because when you're feeling that way, write down what you're feeling. And begin to put a timeline in your life of all the things that have ever happened. It's going to reveal some things to you. Like really open, really reveal, and be honest with yourself when it comes out. When you're doing that inventory of yourself, when you're doing that, like when you're sitting here today and you're feeling the way that you are, keep a mental note. Well, today I was thinking about this, and then I started reflecting on all these things. Put some dates to them. Put some dates to them. That way you know exactly where you are. Now you know exactly what you need to work on. And that's the hardest part. Because that's where the forgiveness comes in. That's where accountability comes in. And that's where having grace for yourself comes in. Just you don't have to rush the process.
Nah, take your time.
You don't.
Tony,
Take your time.
Tony,
Yep.
as we do at the end of every show, last thoughts, sir.
My last thoughts would be take some time to breathe. You don't have to rush everything. Everything you don't have to be running towards. Take some time to just breathe. Sit with yourself long enough to where you can begin to treat yourself as if you're somebody who's worth loving.
Say that one more time, Tony, please.
Sit with yourself until you're somebody who can treat yourself as if you're someone who's worth loving.
Treat yourself like you're somebody who's worth loving. That's deep. When we hate ourselves, that's deep. Cuts deep. Cuts deep. That's a tough one, but it's imperative. Cameron, Alexander, Medico. Last thoughts?
Don't be scared to open up about how you really feel. It's easier to reach up than what you think.
There you go.
Say that one more time, son. Hear yourself say that, if you could, if you would.
Don't be scared to talk about how you feel. It's easier to reach up than what you think. You don't have to do this alone.
Thank you for sharing on that. That's an important step. It's a beautiful thing for you to say. It's a beautiful thing for you to feel. Stand on that shit, son. Stand on that shit. Not for anybody else, but for you. Stand on that shit. Everybody talks about 10 toes down and how dope they how they keep the head on a swivel. 10 toes down. These are my last words. Everybody talks that shit. I stand on business. I stand on this. I stand 10 toes down. I'm this, I'm that. Keep that same motherfucking energy when you're dealing with yourself. Keep that same energy. I told my son today the toughest part about being a fucking man is not being tough. Anybody can get their ass whooped. Stand 10 toes down on yourself. Keep your head on a swivel about how you feel. Stand on your fucking business about you. And as I always say, give yourself grace and breathe. Period. That being said, Tony, thank you so much. for being there, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
Again, you came through when I needed you, bro, and I respect you like a motherfucker. Real shit. I love the fuck
Man,
out
ain't
of you,
nothing but
brother.
love and respect, man.
Yes, sir.
And same here, man. You know, same here, man. I appreciate you having me on the show. I told you, I'm calm, and I can get on. I'm on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And likewise. Likewise. I mean that shit. You know how we get down. You know what it is. We have plenty of talks. You know how we get down.
I'm
With that
already
being
know.
said, once again, this is a check, and I got to get up and turn it off. But thank you, everybody that was in the chats. Thank you, everybody that was here listening tonight. That was in the chats. Everybody was having a conversation with each other and everything. And there were people in the chats that needed to hear this. There are going to be people that will come across this that need to hear this. Life is a motherfucker, man, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But you're in charge of it. Life can be a motherfucker all at once, but you're in charge of it. Tony, thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
West Coast.
of course, man. Thank you guys. Cam, it was great seeing you. I look forward to hearing from you too, my brother.
I'll be calling you.
We out of this bitch. Peace.
All right. You
Blessings.
guys have a good night now.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Peace.